This video is about nutrition, and as vegans, some of us can worry, or new vegans especially, can worry about their nutrient intakes, and they can they want to be careful with what they are doing, and they want to ensure that they get enough protein, they get enough calcium, iron, omega 3s, etc. That's good, that's nice. But as I will show you, you don't need to worry too much. What I mean by that is that you don't need to, let's say, enter your dietary intake daily here, and if, let's say, you reach to 80%, let's say, of your calcium intake, and you say, okay, I didn't get enough calcium today because this uh, database is showing me that I didn't reach to 100%, right? So I will show you why not to worry too much about that. Of course, these are very useful tools. We can use them um, to have a general idea about what we are doing. For some nutrients, they are quite um, accurate, but for many others, they can be just a very general average guide that we don't need to worry about. Basically, we should trust, we should know that that's 100% true, that if we eat a variety of plant-based foods, um, and also take our B12 supplements, because basically nowadays everything is sterilized, our water, our food, we don't have contact with soil, etc., and that's why we are not getting enough vitamin B12, which comes from bacteria. And so if we do that, we will ensure that we will have adequate uh, nutrient intake, and also if we expose ourselves to some sunlight, well, they recommend like 20-30 minutes a day. For uh, my region, it is maybe like 15-20 minutes. For higher northern or southern parts, this can vary, of course, due to the availability of sunlight. But if you are living up north, you need to also take vitamin D supplements as everyone else, because basically um, animal products don't help with those too much. Let's give an example for vitamin B12. 40% of Americans uh, have low B12 levels, vitamin B12 levels. If we say 1% of Americans are vegan, so what about the other 39%? So they are not getting enough vitamin B12 despite um, consuming so much animal products. So basically, animal products don't help with vitamin B12. Similarly, vitamin D, you can't get your vitamin D fully by consuming animal products. If you are living up north, you need to take supplements. So basically, this is a price that we pay due to living unnaturally. Humans don't belong to such cold climates, such extreme places where sunlight is so scarce. We have not been evolved for that. Although we get whiter our skin, some of us develop whiter skin to compensate for that. Still, uh, we can't get white enough, let's say, to absorb enough. If we are albino, even, we can't get enough vitamin D if we are way up north. So basically, and also the vitamin 12, again, we are not living naturally. We are sterilizing our water. We don't come into contact with soil. So that's why this is the price we pay. that. And it's not an expensive price. Let's say we can just right now I have enough sun and I'm just having some vitamin B12. Okay, let's delve into the topic without just, these were just general information for those who want to be vegan. And let's add omega-3s as well, flax seeds, walnuts, chia seeds. Um, there are many other plant foods which are high in omega-3s. I think even like lettuce or something, like everything almost, like you, there are many plant foods with that will give you omega-3s, so don't worry about that. um, but to make it sure, just ground up some flax seeds. They're healthy, but not more than 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons a day, because you can get um, negative effects if you eat too much. um, this is for flax seeds, not for others. Okay, so let's go. And so this chronometer is one website for that you can just enter what you eat. I just said like 5 thick slices of whole wheat bread, store bought, and 1 medium red sweet pepper, eaten raw. If you cook, you can absorb some things more, maybe, but I just decided to just as an example. And you get um, almost, let's say, let me just see it exactly. So we got 26% of our calories just by eating 5 slices of bread, but we got almost all our vitamin B1 needs, B3, vitamin C extreme, like had lots of vitamin C, antioxidants from the red pepper, just one red pepper. And so sorry, okay, so I'll just click on red pepper, that's why it's showing. So both of them, if we eat 5 thick slices of whole wheat bread and 1 red pepper, so we get most of our vitamins. You can see B12 is lacking because you need to take supplements. Vitamin D you get from sunlight. Vitamin K, eat some greens, or like green pepper, like parsley, spinach, whatever. And you can see the protein is quite nice, despite we just took 26% of our calorie intake. And omega-3s, you can see that we just ate bread and pepper, and 23% of our so if we ate our full calories from bread and pepper, basically we will get all our omega-3 needs. This would be close to, maybe it would be like 90% or something. So, and also minerals, you can see here the minerals are, we got about 60%, 59% of our calcium. So as you can see, calcium is not a problem. If we ate 100% of our calories from just bread and pepper, basically, we will get more than enough calcium. But if you don't get this, let's say you calculated and you have 60% here, right, of calcium, and you just worry, you say, look, I didn't get enough calcium today, right? Well, you don't know. You don't know, because this is the average value, right? So basically, I will show you this study, mineral nutrient composition of vegetables, fruits, and grains. So you can read this study. Basically, it says that the soil nutrients are not being depleted, because we are supplying them with fertilizers, etc. So all is good, this is saying, but I think this study is also flawed in a way. This is like a review, but um, some parts they use fertilizers, and we can artificial fertilizers, etc. So we can just keep. It's basically, it's known that we are extracting minerals from the soil, and they are not returning back because uh, basically they are being washed with sewage, right? So there is an output into the ocean, into seas, into waterways of these minerals. So it's true that soils are losing minerals, but then people can find those minerals somewhere else and put it back as fertilizer into the soil. So some parts they will add, some parts, maybe some minerals they will miss. Um, and there is, so this guy is saying that all is fine, but the nutrient reduction in fruits and vegetables and plants are basically due to increased carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So the plants grow quicker, but don't don't find enough time to absorb the nutrients, the minerals. Um, so he says that this is the thing, and the soil the the soil is not being depleted of minerals. But as I said, like, you can't say this. Um, he says there is so much variety, and it is true, right? But basically, there is a fact that we are just extracting from the soil without putting back. In some places, they might add to the soil some fertilizers, and some other places maybe they're not adding. Maybe there are some places adding too much of these minerals, maybe not enough. It can change, of course, and we can say, okay, it varies. And we can see from this that when we entered whole wheat bread, let's say, we can see how much actually, let's say, the calcium content varies. It can vary from 8 to 80. This is maybe milligrams per 100 grams. Let's see. Okay, so milligrams per 100 grams. And many of these minerals, you can see calcium, potassium, magnesium, phosphorus, copper, iron, manganese, zinc, they all vary quite a lot, you can see, for wheat. So when we say here all these nutrients for wheat, let's say, these are basically the averages, our best guess, our expected value, in a way, our best guess. So and this depends on your region, your soil, the minerals in the wheat is basically hugely depends on the climate and the soil. Uh, so you can maybe getting, so let's say average is 44, and this is let's say defined as according to 44, right? Per 100 grams dry weight, this average. But maybe you are getting 70. Maybe your variety is 70, or your variety, just this can vary a lot. That's why I won't worry too much about these to get the exact value, in a way, because it depends, as I said, it changes from region to region. So we just stick with the general idea that it is true that if we eat plant-based, a variety of plant-based foods, it is enough for us because we are great apes, right? And we will be healthy. And many studies show if we eat whole foods, plant-based diet, we become the healthiest. So you don't need to know anything else, basically. Just eat grains, fruits, legumes, vegetables, and nuts and seeds, a variety of them, and you will be fine. So you can still go, if you wonder, you can still discover, try to figure out what is the best combination, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. So thank you very much for listening, because my dog is starting to bark, so I will just finish the video here and see you in another video.